One of the most iconic pilots in U.S. aviation history has died. General Chuck Yeager was the first man to break the sound barrier, and he had very deep ties to us here at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And 2 News reporter Adam Rife is at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force with more on Yeager's incredible legacy.
This Bell X-1 experimental aircraft behind me is the exact type that General Yeager flew to break the sound barrier back in 1947. From World War II fighter pilot to Air Force test pilot and to one of the most recognized faces in aviation. Any telling of the story of flight must include Chuck Yeager.
History is made by this aircraft.
In 1947, 24-year-old Chuck Yeager sat at the stick of the Bell X-1 experimental aircraft as it dropped from a B-29 over the Mojave Desert. Yeager lit the rocket and broke the sound barrier for the first time in history, changing aviation forever.
There were so many hazards to trying to break the sound barrier. In fact, there were people at the time saying it's simply not possible. And there were many different ways that Chuck Yeager was risking his life, many different ways that he could have gotten killed.
You don't look at it as being dangerous. It's something that you're sort of dedicated to, and you just sort of concede the fact that that's your job and that's what you're going to do.
Jeff Duford is a curator at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force. He says the impact of Yeager breaking the sound barrier can be compared to the impact of the discovery of flight itself.
Now, supersonic flight is something that we just casually think of as just that's what humans are able to do. But Chuck Yeager breaking the sound barrier is what made this possible.
But Yeager was not one-dimensional. He flew more than 60 combat missions during World War II and was shot down over France before escaping to safety.
Shot down 11.5 German aircraft, the half being a shared kill. So he was a double ace. He was a combat pilot. And this is before he became the famous test pilot that he's known for.
After returning to the States, he chose to be assigned at the eventual Wright-Patterson Air Force Base before his career as a test pilot, eventually retiring as a brigadier general in 1975. In 1997, he flew an F-15 Eagle past Mach 1 to commemorate the 50th anniversary of his first supersonic flight. 15 years later, he did it again as a co-pilot at age 89. Chuck Yeager died at 97.
We've taken a few steps over from the X-1 to this X-3. It's one of several aircraft in the museum that Chuck Yeager actually has stick time behind. And you can see these aircraft and so many others at the museum 7 days a week from 9 to 5. Admission is free. At the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force, Adam Rife, 2 News, working for you.